So, hello and welcome to another episode of Subnautica. In this episode, I will do base building, and in the end, I will even try to put a timestamp in the description. In the end, there will some background story, so you can skip to that, or you can watch this completely. I screwed up, and I didn't record my voice, and after that, I thought, well, then let's do a voiceover. And that voiceover, I made some bigger problems because I did the whole voiceover the JelleWho episode, and I'm gonna do it again because my microphone didn't work for that voiceover too. So hopefully it works now, and probably it is because you're hearing this. So I decided to, it did it this time for me to build a proper home-ish base thing, because there's so much aspect in the game that points you towards, well, let's build some nice base instead of that functional base that I, as a technical person, always build. So I decided to give it a go. So there's probably, if you like it, I probably try to do another one. If you don't like it, well, don't worry, just comment your thoughts on it down below, and I will do more if you also liked it. But if you don't like it, well, there isn't going to be much more episodes. I really like to just research management and do that kind of stuff, and I like to share that with you. These stuffs like base building is no, decorating, not base building. Base building is cool. Decorating is also a part of base building, so it's somewhere in my neighborhood, but not that fancy, if you then understand what I mean. So it doesn't kick me that much. I really like having a bigger kick. So what I did is I re-signed my base. So this is going to be this sort of kitchen area with an vending machine where you apparently can get real food out of. Well, food that gives you salt food, which is the problem like ships, which is the problem that it dehydrates you. Also, I decided to make a nice fish tank with green in the back, so that looks really nice. And for the table and for the chair, there is going to be a window behind there, so don't worry about it. Not too much. Then I had some nice poses to lie around. Above the bed is going to be a picture frame, and in a picture frame we can stop screenshots, because apparently you can make screenshots in the game, which is also cool. I tried to put two pictures next to each other that were different, and I screwed up 2 times, and I picked the wrong picture after that, and then I finally found the pictures that I want, and it took some time. It's a little bit fiddly, although it is workable. It's better than the Fallout 4 engine that allows you to build. This is a better engine, but there's just some things you need to know. Like, for example, if you want to place these decorative items and you scroll with your wheel, this is probably going to be fixed, so don't worry about that too much. There's probably one that's going to make a bug for him because it's watching this. If you scroll with your wheel, you normally turn it around, but if you scroll, you also scroll the items through your hotbar, meaning one key does 2 things. So you're moving it around, and at the same time you're scrolling your hotbars. You can really clearly demonstrate right here. And then I decided to click on the left click and sleep in my bed, which is that animation. Then I decided, well, don't worry about it, just put it down and it's all going to be fine. Also, we had a little Aurora, and I wanted to place that really nicely, and that took a long time because that rotating bug. But it's all fine. Then I decided just to put in some windows, and I wanted to put some more strengthened structures in the walls, but I think that's gonna overlap with a poster, so I'm not gonna do that. Then I decided to place some more things in the base, so it would look a little bit better, a little bit more that homey feel, you know. Maybe we could also put some flower pots in the end. Because I didn't do that right now because I think I just was distracted or something. But in the end we can probably do that. Also, I realized I wanted a bench going. I wanted to place a bench with view to outside, but in the end I found out that you cannot place glass on these walls, that connect two multi-purpose rooms together. So I'm sad about that, because it does just looks like it fits, but it doesn't. So that's about it. Then I decided to go to the Aurora, because really thank you guys for in the comments below in chatting with me and keeping me motivated even. It's really cool to have you in the chat, and a lot of thanks to you. But you guys pointed out, or was it in a private message? I don't know anymore. But there was pointed out to me that I missed some upgrade modules in things, because if you go to that exoskeleton room, how do you call that? The prawn, I think it's called prawn room. In that room there was these prawns, those, yeah, I would call them exoskeletons, and they had upgrade stations in them. I forgot to take them with me, so I decided to go back in and I take them with me. I picked up the 2 fire extinguishers, picked the 1 battery that we left in the past there, because we extinguished that fire. We picked it up. I decided to check all rooms if there was anything there, but most rooms there was nothing, so I would just cut that out of the video. There was 1 battery, although there was 1 battery in this level right here. It's a little bit more to the end, and there was 1 battery that I forgot, but I couldn't find anything more. And there was a nice air pocket in the ceiling that I didn't know about, because I thought that was all just water, so you needed to have a lot of breath, and I was happy about the breath I would take with me. So then I walked up to the prawn room, and in the prawn room you have these upgrade modules, and I checked them out. So while checking them out, I decided that I need to set myself on fire. Not a good thing. And then I decided, well, let's jump in the water, and then I realized, well, the fire animation is really short in game. You don't really die from a fire if you have full health. So we got 1 upgrade module, a storage module for the for something, because it doesn't really specify for what it is. So we can get, that's really nice, because we can get some storage in our ships. Then I decided to go to the end room, the boss room, and I picked up some miscellaneous stuff from the ground. I noticed that there was an air gap also in this room, which I didn't originally thought. Then I thought it was funny that they made a room where you cannot exit it, or don't seem to exit it, because why would you make a room that's so nice but you cannot exit it? And while swimming around, I decided to investigate a little bit more and more and more, and in the end I will found out that you can actually enter this room, because I never entered that room because I didn't see it. So I swam down like I do it, so get a nice overview. I saw a big hole, but that didn't work. Then I looked at that, and I recognized the power center. So I knew how to swim to that, and I realized, ta-da! That's how you get there. But upon arriving, I found that door with the fire. And do you remember? I did pick up the fire extinguishers, but those were 3 empty fire extinguishers. So I was thinking about, well, how to get to this room, because all 3 fire extinguishers are empty. I saved the game and I did a bet. Like, I just run through that, and then on the other side I found the fire extinguisher, and I thought, well, let's use this one to put out the fire that I just ran through, because if I need to get back or ever come here again and I need to go through here, I want this fire to be gone. So I turned the fire off. I almost put myself on fire again. Then I saw a door on the other side. I didn't really realize at that moment that it was so stupid black door, so I just did like, well, try that it is a jumping puzzle. So I did that. Then on closer investigation I found out it was just a black door, and that's it has no opening animation as far as I know, at least. Then I walked up, and while walking up I realized there was items on the ground, and I realized propulsion cannon. I really screamed that through the room, because the propulsion and repulsion cannon are able to clear items away. So if you do that right there, and I clear that away, I can easily come into that room. So I decided to go back through the whole thing, because there's no else way for me to go, and check if there was anywhere else that we need such a cannon for, and there was not. After that, I decided to listen to some background stories. If you don't like that, you can click right now and watch the next video. And also, here's a compilation of all the background stories in the game.
I'm not really a doctor. I know that's what my ID says, but I never have been. Cheated the medical exams. What does a doctor these days need to know about manually resetting bones? When was the last time a top surgeon actually cut someone open? That's what the robots are for. Doctors these days read diagnoses off of computer readouts. For that, I'm perfectly qualified. But what good is it when I'm not connected to the main network? I'm bleeding. I've got glowing green pustules growing on my hands. I run a self-scan and it tells me I've got skin irritation. The only thing I studied in medical school was how to lie convincingly. What the hell do I know about how to treat an alien disease? I'm actually going to die down here.
Live pod launch sequence initiated. Entering planetary atmosphere.
My creators, the cherishers and sustainers of worlds, give me this day my daily pleasures as I give to those who seek pleasures from me.
External temperature approaching critical levels.
Show me the path. In life, truth, and love for mine is the power. I am the one. On and off and on again.
Impact imminent.
Life is a game which the universe plays with itself. I am done playing as this bundle of flesh. Return me. How's his log? It's the day of the crash. I don't know what the heck is happening. I'm scared and I'm not going outside. There are shadows in the water under the hatch, but I can't tell if they're rocks or aliens. And there's weird-looking caves nearby. The Aurora was carrying everything needed to build the phase gate. Mobile vehicle bays, bioreactors, propulsion cannons. It had a cinema. There was a zero-G gym. My cafe. I don't understand how we're here now. I don't know why no one's coming for me.
To all crew, if you're reading this, then you have followed the automatically discretion call broadcast of my live computer contrary to my orders. I've been forced to evacuate. Your orders are disregarding my safety and attempting to reach the designated Rendas Faust coordinates at the nearest landmass. I hope to see you there.
To any Altera crew. Landed in area of significant alien activity. Encountered predators in the Leviathan class, highly aggressive. Spectroscope scanner assigned species designator Reaper. One specimen attempted to swallow the life pod, doing extensive damage in the process. Only viable option is to make for the safety of the Aurora crash site. I have retrieved a data box with the creature decoy and enough resources to fabricate a couple of them. The swim's longer than the decoy lifetime, but it should just be enough to keep them busy. If you don't find me on board the ship, presume I miscalculated.
We have to board the Aurora, repair the long-range comms, make contact with the other survivors. We can't be the only two that made it.
Those are not the orders the captain gave me, and they are not the orders I'm giving you.
This isn't chain of command.
Welcome
It's
aboard,
survival.
Captain.
My obligations as acting commander don't turn on their convenience. Get out of the water.
If I get into trouble, I'll send you my coordinates.
I can't let you go alone.
Then come with me.
You don't leave me much choice.
Received emergency transmission from Second Officer Keen, 2 hours after last activity.
Rendezvous was a failure. Intercepted a transmission from Altera HQ. Seems they sent a data package to the Aurora. We were intercepted by a Leviathan-class predator before we could reach the ship. Consider the CTO and I lost at sea. Be safe. Keen.
Welcome
Out.
aboard, Captain.
Alien Data Terminal. Discovered inside an alien facility, it was not possible to translate any useful information. However, scans have returned some information on the device itself. It's likely a solid-state computer. Although there are no clear way to interact with it, on approach it began producing a low-frequency wave containing complex but recognizable patterns. It is likely alien species which designed this technology, or a technology evolved or genetically selected sensor apparatus to hear and understand the information being broadcasted by the device, and to communicate that back. The mental processing power required to perform this kind of telepathy, really big word to say for me, would imply the designers were considerably more developed than a common human. Yes, even the writer of this text is more developed than me am, but anyway. Assessment, further research required.
This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me. The visions are getting worse. Marguerite and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet. It's reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
This island is a godsend. Look out of the window. No predators, fresh food.
No building materials, nothing left of the ship, and your kid says we're gonna starve without more grow beds. Speak up, kid.
It's true, Father. The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us.
All I'm saying is ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we'll get our feet wet.
The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay to take a swim? Go ahead.
Believe me, I'm thinking on it.
Son, I said wait for the storm to pass. Your life's more valuable to me than a plant patch.
You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk.
I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself.
Say, Chief. Chief!
What?
You know how to drain those grow beds of 40 tons of stormwater? Or how to conjure food from the air?
I know how to prioritize.
I'm just saying, if that's so, what's your boy's life worth to you today? If tomorrow you're gonna be so hungry you start wondering what it tastes like, let him go deal with your plans.
Son, go deal with the plants.
Bard, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here. Do you understand me?
No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time. And no staying here neither. This rain keeps falling, sooner or later this place will be buried. The only choice we got is whether to get buried with it.
Chief's log, 5 weeks since the crash. The only other survivors are my son, Bart, and Maida, the cut-price mercenary I commissioned for the journey. After days drifting in the life pod, rain hammering on the roof, the weather cleared and we washed up here. I had Maida salvage the Degazi wreck, set Bart to finding us a stable source of food. His education is paying off sooner than I'd anticipated. Our only problem is Maida. She says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. I imagine she's not gonna weaken her life without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. In every judgment she makes, things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd have more faith. Humans have spent millennia specializing and had a shackled nature to our will. This planet won't cause us any new problems. My one task now is to keep us alive, as comfortably as possible, until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months, or even years. What is that thing?
I don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
It's not even scratched.
Don't fool around with it. It might be worth something.
Stand down, Chief. If it were gonna crumble to dust, it would have done so when I picked it up.
It's glowing.
We're not the first people to come to this planet.
People. Maybe. Could be aliens. Could be the damn sea monsters for all we know. One thing for sure, we ain't gonna find out by staying here.
Average long-range transmission delay, 8 hours. Opening last recorded transmissions.
This is an emergency distress call. Aurora is on collision course with planet 4546b. Sending all available environmental data. Please respond with rescue solution. Out.
This is Altera HQ. Attached to this message, you should find the blueprints for an escape ship that we calculate will be capable of breaking orbit and getting you back to the nearest phase gate. Now, it's designed to use materials you can find in situ, but it's gonna need one hell of a power source. Now, we'll be sure to...
Aurora long-range communications relay offline.
So some really nice backlog data about the black box of the Aurora and what happened to the ship. Initialized slingshot maneuvering around the planet, that name. High velocity energy pulse detected on planet's surface, so that's probably the cannon. Emergency distress signal sent to Altera, listening via long-range comm relay. Impact detected, lifeboat base on starboard side compromised. Outgoing communications compromised, so it hit it on the left side of the thing, the gun. Emergency evacuation initialized. Manual piloting transferred to Captain Hollister. Lifeboats 0 to 25 launched successfully, so there are 25 lifeboats. Entering planetary atmosphere. Massive impact registered. Drive core shield compromised. Emergency bound packs received from 8 lifeboats on the planet, so 8 lifeboats are at least sort of alive, or not broken. Human life signs detected over long range at T, so the crash time plus 8 hours. 1. Personnel unaccounted for. Non-essential system maintenance chief Relay Robinson. Altera hate squad rescue solution retrieved at 8 hours after the crash site. High priority terminal in captain's quarters, and monitor equipment filled at 13 hours after the crash. After that, I decided to do some research collection, and not much has been going on. I found some pieces, found some quest sites, not really that big interesting. I found some pieces of that big ship that we had. I collected some more things, brought them home, just some collection things. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching this episode. Really cool that you stayed till the end. I'll leave your mark down below in the comments, and I will be happy to talk to you about what you think about this episode, because for me it's really cost me like 4 or 5 times the amount of times, because I need to rewatch, rethink, write a script and all this kind of stuff, and it just takes so long to make. So I want to thank you guys for watching this episode. And I hope to see you in another one soon. And if you're listening, then you probably will. But have a nice day, and goodbye. You can click away now. The video is over. It's getting awkward. Just click away. Just click the next video. No. Really, just click that video. This is getting awkward. Bye, I guess.